Go, go. Got it.
So my friend Don's Jeep, Lil Squeak we call it, is back in the driveway for a new engine. If you've watched the channel, you may have seen this video where he blew up the transfer case. So after we got the Jeep turned around and headed back off the trail, the fans went out and ended up overheating and most likely damaging the engine. Because back at home on the dyno, he smoked the old 350 that was in it. So we found a used 150,000 mile LQ4 6.0 liter to do a build for it. So I tore it all down, gave it an inspection. We found some water in the cylinders, probably from being pressure washed or whatnot. Wasn't too bad, so I was able to ball hone the cylinder and get a nice cross hatch back in the cylinders. We also cleaned up the pistons. They were really gummed up. The ring lands were full of carbon and whatnot, so gave those a thorough cleaning, and we just went with standard rings, and we also replaced the rod bearings. Heads went out and got a valve job, all new stainless valves, and with that we began reassembly on the engine. In addition to new rings and bearings, we went with a Stage 2 truck cam from Summit, along with some LS7 lifters, an LS1 timing chain and tensioner, and we did a Trunnion kit on the stock rockers and went with 740 Chromoly push rods. We started with the truck water pump, but that didn't end up working, so we switched to an Fbody water pump and we did our ICT Pulley Relocation kit to make room for the filter. On the electrical side, we used MSD wires to deliver spark to the spark plugs for us, and we used the GM harness to create our own standalone harness, eliminating stuff we didn't need like EGR and EVAP. And then we had the PCM locally tuned to turn off those monitors and turn off the VATs for us. I created a schematic from LT1 and other information out there I found on YouTube. This swap has been done a million times and there's a ton of information out there. So I just documented everything to help us down the road and give something to the customer. I had to modify the adapter plate from the old 350 because it uses a Jeep Turbo 400, not the standard TH 400, so that was kind of a bit of work, but in the end it worked out just fine. We used ICT motor mount adapters, and those work quite well with the Chevy 350 motor mounts. And then while we were doing the install, I cleaned up some interference with the steering column on some of the framework. Utilizing the schematic I had created earlier, we went to work on the Jeep to prep it for the engine, installing a new fuse block and some relays, and got the electrical all tidied up, and then moved on to the exhaust. I used Sanderson block hugger headers, fit really nice, but I did cut off the flange in lieu of the V-band exhaust clamps that were previously installed. I reworked the existing exhaust system to fit the new exhaust, and that came out pretty tidy. There wasn't much room to work with in there, but it all came out just fine. Once the exhaust was done, it got a wrap, and then we reinstalled it all using the two forward O2 sensors for feedback back to the PCM. With the engine installed and complete, we tidied up the cooling lines, installed the radiator, the battery, finished the electrical, fit the new air filter. I also installed a check engine light and a oil pressure switch to give feedback when we lose oil pressure out on the trail, so the guy doesn't have to watch his oil pressure gauge all the time. With that complete, we were ready for a test drive. With the installation complete, we plan to trip out to Calico to give the Jeep a good shakedown. Before we return it back to Dawn, I want to make sure everything works as it should. So we threw it on the trailer and headed out. First trail of the day was headed up Duran, and it quickly became apparent that I had cut the wire that provided power to the relay for our compressor. So we had no lockers all day long, and that became very apparent on some of the obstacles.
Little passenger right there. Right there. Little passenger. Now go. Just get a little bump up. There you go. Yeah.
No, the front stick popped out.
So we're paying close attention to all the gauges here, making sure we have good oil pressure and the fans are coming on as they should. I have the PCM programmed at 2 different temperature set points, and it's driving 2 different fans independently. And I've also put in an override switch that we can turn fans on in case of an emergency, or if we shut the vehicle off and we want to run the fan for additional time. My intent is to program a delay on the fan shut off when we turn the key off, so the fan will continue to run automatically. So I'm running 2 thermostats on this motor. One feeds the PCM and the other one's feeding the in-dash gauge. And the ring terminal had broke off that gauge dash, so at this moment my son doesn't have any feedback on temperature. So he's currently running the fan manually through that switch. I later fixed that wire issue on the trail.
Driver.
My son's a pretty good driver, but he's about to get his ass kicked on this waterfall because once again I've cut the wire that powers the relay, which turns on the compressor, which operates the front locker. So he's pretty much screwed on this obstacle. The rear's running up to Detroit if you're interested. When it's climbing, keep rolling into it. Keep it going.
Yeah, front marker. We walked right up this one tire was turning.
I need my front end to pivot back around now.
Yeah. Well, you're up. You're safe.
Back down?
No, I think you'll come back down in a minute. Just go nice and easy. There you go.
Your back is wedged. Your back is in a big old hole.
Can I back out of it?
Let me see.
That's big.
Now drop passenger and just go. Go, go. Got it.
Come on, come on. Come on now. Hold on. Last time he turned that way and fell off this. Maybe you stay on.
Yeah, stay a little passenger. Stay passenger. Bart, come away just in case. You're gonna fall off, so you got one shot at it. Go. Did you get off the gas? It's it. All right, let's wait. We'll winch you. Well, we got to get that compressor fixed.
My TJ would have walked right up.
Now start working, driver. Right there. Keep coming. No more driver. Right there. Crawl it, driver. Right there. Driver.
I think he screwed you up.
Yeah.
This is where it needs that locker, because all the power is going to go out this tire.
Up the wall if you can. You're good on the passenger. Yep. Yep, that's it. Yeah, you're coming up on the back right. You're on the boulder. The locker's not moving.
5 PSI would help. Back up just a little bit, Spencer. Bump it over. Right there.
Right there, you got about a foot. You can bump it up now.
No, get off the. No. Not worth it. No.
You got 1 foot. Bump it up. Getting ready to climb the right boulder.
No,
Okay, wait right there. Now go past it. Past it.
I would.
Right there. Now get up the right thing. You got it. Right there. Now start working driver. As you go up. Go up.
Spencer, I think keep it low, dude. Let's not put him up on that rock.
Okay. Back up. Okay, now go driver. Now forward. A little bit passenger.
Yeah, now, you're down. Yeah, you got
Now
this.
right there. Straight.
Got a little climb.
Start climbing the lower end of it. The very end of it.
We need to almost get him past that bump right there.
All right, back up. Now go driver. Now forward.
Hard driver.
Forward. There you go, right there. You got the line. You're not on that thing. You're not on it. There you go.
It's just front tires killing him.
How about a bump?
a little bit. There you go. Come here, Haley. Come on.
Nice and easy.
Haley, come here. Huh?
There you go, right there. Straight ahead. It's not climbing, it's the back right that's on a boulder. Yeah, that's
You gotta bump over it, Spence. You just gotta kind of. Come here, Haley. Come on.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I got you.
I would stay that way though, straight.
Yeah, go passenger, passenger,
Right.
passenger.
Right there, and just kind of
Now bump it.
gotta bump. You're fine. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. There you go. Come on, Haley.
Good job.
Come on, Haley. Haley, come on. Come on.
Oh my God.
You are so far up in the air.
I know. You would think 200 pounds would be able to hold this thing down, but no.
And here we are headed back down to camp. We're coming down Odessa on the same day.
Can you make an effort to keep up those Spence?
Strapping, got some boulders in front of the tires, and let's put them up over.
So it's off the auto parts store for a new alternator and get that compressor working so we have lockers on day 2. So aside from the couple of hiccups we had on day 1, the engine ran phenomenal. We got the wiring situated for the compressor, so we should have lockers today, and we have a new alternator in it. So now we're headed up Odessa to the Bismarck mine, and from there we'll head down to Wall Street. There's a nice little trail there that'll really test the Jeep out, so let's see how it goes.
Seems like it, yeah. Yep. Putting a huge rock. Yeah, go hard, passenger. There you go. Me too, I couldn't get up though. Same thing, Spence, as you get up, you gotta, this is, I'd rather him do it here.
That front tire up?
Yep.
You gotta go hard left.
You gotta start turning left now. I don't think so either.
No, you can't square up now. I don't want this tire in the hole. I'd rather have that one. Get him over a body length.
You cannot roll this. You can break parts, but you cannot roll this.
It's on.
You got to start turning though now. You got to be turning. It lifts right away. As soon as you start to gas, it lifts.
You're good. Driver when you go down. Driver when you go down. Hard driver. You got it. Back right's going down. And oh wait, I didn't have it on record. Do it again. You too.
So here lies the hub for my LJ. I had just broke my stub shaft on my RCVs and the unit bearing on this very obstacle here just about 30 minutes ago. So we parked the Jeep, we'll get it fixed a little bit later, but the rest of us are going to run this trail.
done anyway.
Yeah, but we can hit that. He says there's that beef, some beef barbecue up here at the Calico.
Oh, really? And they're open till 5?
Everything out of the 9 to 5.
That's what I
The
heard.
guy at the bar though, the guy at the drugstore, when I got a beer in there, he goes, hey, if I got people that are in here and still paying for stuff, I'll stay open later.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was the little drugstore that they had beers and stuff in there.
Right, yeah.
So if you get there before 5 and want to stay, they'll stay.
Oh, cool.
Call them and say, hey, we got 7, 8 guys coming.
Yeah.
You're gonna slide off. You gotta stay left, and I think your momentum here is what you need. Nobody's in front of you.
Did you turn your camera on? No. The screen will go off after a little while.
I'll tell you what, get the come back.
And why don't we have front lockers on that vehicle? They broke, or
That one works. He's
front
just not.
lockers?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
he didn't have front lockers yesterday.
I know. We got it fixed last night, though. It was just the air compressor wasn't getting air to the front. See, now see how they jump?
Yeah.
That's what breaks axles.
He was only bouncing a little bit.
I know, but over time, every time you're doing that, it's weakening the axle, you know? And it's good to get the tires hot, because you can get the hot tire, if you can not bounce and spin the tires on the rock, it gets them really hot and sticky. And you go back up and then you go after it, and it pops right out. But you don't want to bounce them out of there. Spencer knows that. He's actually a really good driver.
Yeah, he is.
Yep, stay high like that. There you go. There you go. Now go. There you go. Well done.
There you go, that's better. He just was in a bad spot.
that about wraps up this trip. The Jeep ran phenomenal. If you're thinking about doing an LS swap, I totally recommend it. There's so much information on the internet to be had, and you can't go wrong. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up below. I promise you I'll respond, and we'll see you out on the trail. Thanks for stopping by Trivia Garage.